Here we is. Here we is.
And apparently here we is.
Yes, sir.
That must mean that here we am. And maybe even here we are.
Here we are.
Here we be.
We be.
This is, and we're gonna be we're simulcasting on the ANTiSEEN Facebook page and the Malcolm Tent Facebook page at the same time. You will get a different view from each one. Malcolm's page will probably be a little bit more action-packed as our main Mondo Braswell is operating the camera.
You can't see him, but no doubt you can feel his mojo as it radiates through his fingers, through my camera, and then broadcasts itself to Jeff's camera. It's powerful stuff. Say hello to the people, Mondo.
Hello to the people.
There you go. You heard him now, so you know it's
That was
true.
a fine hello.
Let's have a chorus hello. He gave us a fine one. Let's have a chorus one.
1, 2, 3. Hello. Hello.
You know, if we were really on it, we would have done it Three Stooges style.
That's what I was kind of going for at the end there.
Okay, this is live.
You want to do it?
We're going to do it.
1, 2, 3.
Got it. Okay.
What key is it in?
Who cares?
Hello. That would be mine. Okay.
Okay, start over.
1, 2, 3. Hello.
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 There we go. Man, that was perfect. I hope somebody was recording it besides us.
Seriously. Well, I
And
saw one heart.
And we'll release it on
Yes.
a single.
We saw one heart on the ANTiSEEN cam. Did any hearts show up on the... Well, actually, I don't want to know because I can't stand the bitter disappointment of reality.
Oh, man, we just got a downward thumb.
Whoa. Okay. That's... I want to know... You will be able to see who that is, right?
Yeah,
Later? Okay,
I'll track them down.
we will know who you are soon enough, Isaac. Oh, now it's a thumbs up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Do we have that kind of action on my camera right now? Oh, well, just so people know, this is the official ANTiSEEN touring party, -1. We've got Mr. Jeff Clayton. We've got Mr. Walt Wheat. You've got myself, Malcolm Tent. And as mentioned before, the awesome, good-looking, lovely and talented Mondo Braswell holding the camera and not even attempting to do harmonies. And what we got here is a strange thing called Tent Talks Through.
Which is a combination of Break On Through, which was, like I told you guys, last week's shit show plus last night's, 6-minute Break On Through. We felt that, I felt that I'd really dropped the ball on you guys, as good as you are to me every week. So we decided, no matter how tired we are, that right here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that we would do a live Break On Through Tent Talks Tunes combination. And so I can't tell you how exciting this is going to be because, like I said, we are wore out. But we're going to attempt. Man, we're some pretty interesting guys when we start talking about stuff we know a little bit about. And we know a little bit about a lot of shit. So
I think the description would be an inch deep and a mile wide.
exactly. So, Malcolm, do you have anything on your brain that you would like to unleash and pick and contribute?
Well, actually, yes. This question was burning in my mind for most of the drive up from the great Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
We were in the car today for 8 or 9 hours, and it's a car loaded with people who have very strong opinions about music. Very deep knowledge. This is not inch deep, mile wide. This is like mile deep, mile wide when you get this group of people together and lots of strong opinions about all that. So I'm just going to put everybody on the spot right here, right now. Don't even think. Don't even think. Instant answer to the question. I'm going to start with Mr. Jeff Clayton right now. Your favorite band of all time, hands down, bar none. Who's your favorite right now? Go.
My favorite band of all time would have to be the Alice Cooper Group.
Right on. Somehow I was trying to think of what that answer might have been earlier today. And I was thinking, well, gee, who could it be? Could it be Black Oak? Could it be Kiss? Could it be Gwen McRae? Could it be Alice Cooper? Indeed, Alice Cooper.
The Alice Cooper Group
The
now.
group. Yes.
We're talking about from Pretty's for You all the way to Muscle of Love. To me, they were the greatest American rock and roll band of all time. And one of my favorites because they were one of my first that I was a fan of. Now, you mentioned others. Black Oak, Kiss. You could also throw in Thin Lizzy. You could throw in, who else? The Runaways, Slade. If you're talking about rock and roll, you are talking about rock and roll, or are you talking about all music
Let's just
of
say
all time?
all music of all time, because we played a wide variety of music, and this is a factoid that viewers might be interested in. When the ANTiSEEN touring party gets together, we listen to all kinds of stuff.
Let's go over what we listened to on the way here today.
Indeed, let's.
Walt, you want to comment on this, or
On what we listened to today?
Yeah.
Aside,
See if people can dig where we're coming from.
so the 60s and the 70s TV theme songs.
Yes.
Nothing more scum rock than four guys singing along with that at the tops of their lungs.
You're gonna make it after all.
Don't forget Gilligan's Island.
Oh, let's sit right
Professor
back
and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's Isle.
They were pretty good at this harmony stuff. You guys might be seeing the very germ of an idea for a new approach for ANTiSEEN from here on out. And I wasn't the only one who knew all the lyrics to the Gilligan's Island theme song.
No,
was
certainly
I?
not. No, I know
Okay.
that.
You were the only one that sang every single one of them.
Yeah, I got kind of carried away. I really wasn't intending to do that.
So we listened to about an hour's worth of TV themes. We listened to the Sir Barry Hannibal classic rock compilation.
Yep, which included a lot of the Alice Cooper. I heard a lot of Cheap Trick, Kiss.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Anything Barry Hannibal does is going to have AC/DC in it,
Yeah.
which is all right by me.
Did we hear Saxon in there?
Yeah, so I was about
Yeah,
to say
there
the
was some
Queen's
Saxon.
favorite Saxon.
Oh, there you go.
And we also listened to a 60s R&B compilation that I put together. But then we switched over and we listened to the entire four sides of David Bowie's Stage.
And not even the original vinyl, but the expanded super
Yeah,
deluxe.
it's got all the songs, like a ton of songs.
like
on
almost 2 hours long. And we
Yeah.
played that thing from start to finish. And it was great. It was great. So yeah, total smorgasbord, you know. And I think you'll probably notice that the one thing in common with all of the music we listen to, primarily 60s and 70s, maybe going into the early 80s. But yeah, you know, good classic rock, good classic soul and R&B, only the best TV theme songs, and what I think is still Bowie's peak vocal performance period, 1978. So yeah, it really is kind of hard to narrow it all down to just one.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you that today. If you ask me that 2 weeks from now, I may come up with a completely different answer. But let's pose that same question to you. Favorite group of all time?
Devo.
Devo, of course.
Duh!
Devo.
Devo, what can I say? We're all Devo.
Are we not men?
We are Devo. And
Are we not men? DEVO.
it's totally true. They asked the question that had to be asked, and there is only one answer, and that is that we are Devo. Devo is a frame of mind. It's a human condition. It's indicative of a bad case of corkscrews in the brain. And the human mind, or lack of it, on this planet. See, I got the whole rap down.
Are we not pins?
We are Devo. Enough said. Enough said.
Walt Wheat, we will pose this same question to you. Favorite group of all time, Walt Wheat, answer now.
Now.
Broad Spectrum, Black Sabbath.
Whoa, okay.
Black Sabbath.
Why?
My favorite Christian rock band of all time.
Yes. After Forever. You know, people, and that's, okay, this is where, now Walt, you've definitely touched upon a scab that is very thin on the skin of Malcolm Tent. Because, I mean, look at that.
Ooh, that's
You don't want to poke it too hard. This is,
tinfoil scab.
yeah, this is where you get into the mile deep, inch wide. My desperate need to get into the various eras of Black Sabbath. Okay, so, but before I do that, before I really start testing the limit of the patience of these people here on the ANTiSEEN fan page and on Tent Talks Tunes. When you say Black Sabbath, do you embrace all eras, or are there certain eras of Black Sabbath that you like better than others?
All the way up through Dio.
Uh-huh.
Including Dio or up to Dio?
Yeah, including Dio.
Yeah.
All of it.
You like Ian Gillan?
Yeah, I mean, it was
You know
good.
what? I love that record. I just wish that it had sounded like the rough mixes. It had some balls to it. You know, the final mix of Born Again was so thin, and this comes from a guy who's put out some thin records. So I'm not sitting there pointing my finger, wagging it at Mr. Iommi and Mr. Butler. Oh my goodness!
And for those of you who might not know the background, when Born Again came out in 1983, it definitely got mixed reviews because of the production of it. And I love the way that album sounds. The production's really weird. The guitar tone is very live. It's really hot. And when I saw him on that tour at the Sunrise Music Theater in Fort Lauderdale, Iommi's guitar sound on stage was exactly the way it was on the Born Again album.
I'll be damned.
I don't know how he did that, but it was identical.
Yeah, it was there hotter than hell.
Yes, oh man, Hot Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. Another album with really weird production values.
But you know what? I like the production on that.
I
really do.
I totally do. You know, and you could go one further and say Ramones' Subterranean Jungle, which I think has very similar production to Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. Mondo, do you have any opinions on this?
Turn the camera toward yourself.
Yeah, let the people see you. I mean, ANTiSEEN folks can't see this, but
Yeah,
we
you're in
see.
there.
Oh, we see you. He's in frame.
Better
He's
yet,
in frame.
Mondo, don't discuss Black Sabbath. Discuss who is your favorite band of all time. Period. Mondo Braz will answer correctly right now.
Tell us right now.
The Ramones are my favorite, but the Ultra lineup, ANTiSEEN, is the best.
I see there. That's a good answer right there.
That is definitely the
As,
answer.
as they would say on Family Feud.
Good answer. Good
answer.
answer. That's why
Good
Mondo
answer.
has been designated Employee of the Year for
Yep.
2024.
Yep.
Well, 2024.
In 2024, only 4 months into it.
But Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, third favorite band, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, Ichiban.
Okay, so Kiss is your third favorite. Who's number one?
Ramones.
Okay. I was so busy doing the camera that I missed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's right. ANTiSEEN Ultra line.
Right.
Yeah, I multitasked. I got it. What's the problem?
There's no problem.
All right. I'm glad we got that sorted out.
So, now that we know where everybody kind of lands today as their favorite group of all time, should we break it down into other categories?
We could, which might save us the long, painful delve into the various lineups of Black Sabbath and the fact that I'm a big fan of Tony Martin, whose catalog is getting the deluxe reissue treatment finally.
I'm going to tell you something. You know, I listen to Tent Talk Tunes. I very rarely get to participate in the live setting. But I do listen to it the following morning while at work, working class.
On the clock.
And and there are a few groups that you have talked about and lineups of groups that I ignored, and I went back and listened to just on your recommendation. One of those is 10cc.
Oh boy,
I'm really liking that stuff.
Nice 10cc, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I knew who 10cc was. Like walking in the rain and the snow, and there's nowhere to go, and
you're feeling
like a part of you is dying. See, I know 10cc. I'm not in love, so don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through.
Man, we're on to something.
We're good, man.
Pound that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, pound that wall. Yeah, okay.
I wasn't part of that.
Well, next.
Maybe that's why it was so good. I mean, pound that. Come on. Okay.
I'm just happy to know that that is 10cc and not Hall & Oates like I thought it was.
Oh, but you see, that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No, it's not. Not when you're sitting here with old JC.
No, and that actually is a true fact, you know, because the topic of who has the best harmonies comes up an awful lot, and people always say the Beach Boys. But Hall & Oates rarely
The Beach
get-
Boys were damn good.
They
Yeah,
were
but
real
but
good.
you know what? The thing I like most about Hall & Oates when I you can't say first discovered them because they were part of the landscape of the United States in the 80s, especially.
Yeah.
But I went back, started listening to the stuff from the 70s, and I just, and I didn't have anyone older or someone turning me on to it to go, oh, I was just like, this is soul music.
Yeah.
She's Gone and Sarah Smile, that's soul.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, soul groups attempted those songs, and in my opinion, did not do them the justice that Hall & Oates did.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tavares.
Oh.
But yeah, great harmonies. The Beach Boys, of course. The Beatles, which they were known for mainly, was their harmonies.
Yeah. The Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, great band, great singers.
If you can get around Frankie Valli's, overuse of the falsetto.
In the early stuff.
Yeah.
The later stuff, starting from, I don't know, I guess when he did his own track, My Eyes Adore You. That's the Frankie Valli voice I like.
Yes, that like, oh, what a night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Oh, What a Night. Oh, What a Night's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Great tune.
One day I'm going to do a top 10 on Break On Through I'm going to do a top 20 of my top 20 favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to let genre put them in the category. It's just going to be 20. Like someone coming to me, Damn, Jeff Clayton, you only got 20 songs to listen to, son. You got to make a list there, boy. I'm going to make that list and read it on an episode of Break On Through.
Right on.
What do you think of that?
I think that'd be darned entertaining, and that kind of gets to what you were starting to lead to. Like we've talked about number one favorite group of all time, no matter what, irrespective of genre. Are we going to start getting into genres now? That's a slippery slope.
That is a slippery slope.
Because I think, what do you got? You got rock and roll, you got punk rock, you got country, and even then you've got like Nashville country, Bakersfield country, traditional country.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, though, when it comes to punk rock, I got a three-way tie that I cannot break.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us, Jeff Clayton.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Give.
Sex Pistols, Clash, Ramones.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Three very different groups.
Yeah.
Completely different sounds. And I like them equally. They were all as influential on me as the other. And for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I could break it down and talk about each one, but we'd be here all night. But that is my favorite as far as punk rock. Malcolm Tent, punk rock. Give me your favorite. I need this answer now.
Just absolutely knee-jerk reaction. Favorite punk rock. I think Ramones.
Okay.
I just have to do it because. Like the three bands you mentioned are all no-brainers. They're all top shelf. But for me, I don't know, the Ramones just always really got me in a way that the Sex Pistols and the Clash don't get me. And believe me, I've listened to a lot of the Clash, and I've played Nevermind the Bollocks and even Great Rock and Roll Swindle. I was over the moon when someone leaked that brand new soundboard audio bootleg from Sweden with, of all people, Sid Vicious on bass. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. But the Ramones, like from the very first minute that I walked into Specs Music at the Westland Mall in Hialeah, Florida, and just randomly looked through the punk rock section that was about yay thick, and I saw that copy of Ramones' Rocket to Russia, and I turned it over and I saw the cartoon back cover with the pinhead on the rocket and the map of the world underneath it, and the song titles, Teenage Lobotomy, Cretin Hop, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. Bought it right then and there.
Can I talk about the Ramones a minute?
Sure.
The very first song I ever heard by the Ramones was Cretin Hop.
Really?
A friend of mine in New London, North Carolina, matter of fact.
Of all places.
Called me up. Man, but we didn't know they were called the Ramones. We thought they were called the Raymones. Oh. Man, okay. I got a Raymones album. All right, well, I'm coming over. Man, we sat down. I remember he had this big pink lit quadraphonic stereo, but it would play records that were not quadraphonic.
Yeah.
And man, he put on first song, side one, Cretin Hop.
Yeah.
Man, all I had to get to was 1, 2, 3, 4. Creedence wanna hop some mo.
Yeah.
I was in.
Yeah.
What else you got? I see there's like 12 more here. I'm ready to hear them all.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it instantly.
Definitely, man. It was the same way for me. That was the first Ramones song I ever heard, and for me, it was just the sound of that guitar. Those very first opening chords. It was so thick and so lush and meaty at the same time. And then when Joey started singing, it wasn't at all what I expected, because all I knew about punk rock at the time was, screaming and yelling and safety pins and spitting. But this guy could actually sing. He had a voice. He could carry a melody. He was in tune. And I was like, whoa, this is not what I expected, but I like it. I like it.
Walt Wheat. I'm doing a long build-up to give you time to think of your very favorite of all time,
A long build-up.
hands down, bar none, punk rock group, as in the favorite list of Walt Wheat. Give it to us now.
Are we doing
Go.
top 3 or just one?
One.
Dead Kennedys.
Yeah, really?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You notice that everybody sort of popped at the mention of the Dead Kennedys.
Now, I'm going to tell you something about Dead Kennedys, okay? And this is something, I don't like to go around saying, but, I actually at one time became friends with Jello Biafra. Like we have each other's home phone numbers. He was always very, very cool to ANTiSEEN. And you would think he would not be.
Right.
And he has pointed out some of the stuff that he didn't think, it was his cup of tea at that time. But he would, we told it. He just accepted it. Right. He accepted it as that's who we were. And nothing that really ever changed,
Yeah.
And he was always good to us. Matter of fact, when we played in Oakland, opening for Blowfly.
Oh yeah.
He came to the show with a big stack of Alternative Tentacles releases in hand for me, and that's just the kind of guy he's always been with us. And and I saw the original lineup of the Dead Kennedy, not the one before DJ joined, but I saw him, with DJ, which I consider that the classic. Dead
Definitely.
Kennedy.
I mean, he was the drummer that put them right over the top.
I've seen them 3 or 4 times with that lineup, and man, they never, ever, ever disappointed.
Right.
Ever.
You talking about D.H. Peligro?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about the Dead Kennedys and your relationship, Walt.
Oh, it was the first punk rock band I heard that clicked with me. Just the delivery, the sonic airhead of it.
What was the first song you heard? Do you remember?
The first song would have been, let's see, because it was on a compilation that a friend of mine had.
Punk and Disorderly?
No, it was just like a mixtape.
Oh,
it was
okay.
like one of his girlfriend mixtape things. I think it may have been Government Flu, but I don't know because I went right out and bought it. Plastic Surgery Disaster.
Oh, man.
But I'll tell you something, you got to watch what Dead Kennedy's tunes you say on here, because I posted one time. Someone was asking, favorite Dead Kennedy song. And I typed mine on there, and that thing goes against community standards there, cowboy.
Oh, great.
It was about a landlord.
Oh, yes, which had a certain word in it, which no sense of, the bots and the algorithms have no sense of humor and no sense of irony whatsoever.
Or content.
No, yeah, they don't.
Context.
No context. There's no context. They don't get it.
Well, Mondo, seems as your favorite group of all time is the Ramones. I would imagine that is your favorite punk rock group.
Well, here's the thing. I go with the Underdogs. I'm an underdog. I'm a jobber type guy. I like the underdogs. I like the people who don't get credit where credit is due. And since you guys are no longer punk rock, I will bring up the Underdogs known as Sloppy Seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Good answer.
Very,
Good answer.
very underrated group. Lyrics. When I heard, I even started. Like I said, I'm a Kiss fan. I've been a Kiss fan practically all my life. And I went into the record store and I saw Destroyed, and I was like, "What's this crap?"
Yeah.
So I didn't actually listen to Sloppy Seconds to probably maybe 10 or 15 years after that. And actually, the first song I heard was 15 Minutes or It's Free, and I was like, "This is just sure brilliance."
Right on.
But Walt, to go back to your Dead Kennedys, I was also a Dead Kennedys fan. But the reason I found out about Dead Kennedys, like many other people found out about Dead Kennedys, was Jeff Hanneman's guitar.
Oh, because they had the stickers.
Yeah, the stickers. That's how I found out about DRI. That's how I found out about
GBH.
Dead Kennedys.
Right on.
Is that how you found out about the Misfits?
No,
I
I
guess
kind
that
of.
would have been on Metallica.
That was Metallica.
Yeah,
That
Metallica.
is
I can't even lie about
Metallica.
that. It was totally Metallica.
It's proving that Metallica were good for at least one thing.
Right.
To meet a lot of Misfits fans out there, which also might be for better or worse, too.
For another episode.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go into
We're not even going to Misfits. I will just say that I personally, I do like the Misfits. I do like the Misfits, and I'll even go so far as to say I like the post-Danzig albums they did with Mikhail Graves. I thought they were fun, thought they were cool. After that, no comment. But, we can agree to disagree on certain things.
I mean, I'll say I like Glenn Danzig's original writing, his writing method and style, probably more than I like the music. But I dig the music. He opened up my mind to things I didn't, up and coming songwriter. I was like, wow, I can, this guy right here took that to a different level for me. But listening to Glenn Danzig was the one who originally kind of opened up my mind, as well as BA from Sloppy Seconds. I was like, I don't have to write about being sad. I can write a song about, finding a Pop-Tart in the mailbox if I wanted to. I can do anything I want. I don't have to limit myself.
ANTiSEEN and Sloppy Seconds have done some shows together, and people might not think, well, that's not a good combination. It's a perfect combination. It's a perfect combination. I got on stage with them in Atlanta, and we did an Anti-Nowhere League song together.
Right on.
Quite an honor. I was very pleased.
I was there. Oh, I'm sorry. I was there and filmed that. I actually still kick myself this day because I missed the Raleigh show y'all played with them, which I heard was a barn burner.
I was just going to say, we've got the split record to prove it. The ANTiSEEN Sloppy Seconds split 7-inch picture disc. Just saying.
Yep.
Well, cool. This has already been a very fruitful conversation that we've had here on Tent Talks Through. What else can we throw at these people, if anything?
All right, we've talked about rock and roll. We've talked about punk rock.
Yeah.
What's another genre we can dip into real quick?
Well, we know that you're a big soul music fan.
Big.
So, all right, just one. Boom. Favorite soul
hold on a
artist.
Now, with this one, we really kind of have to do this. And I know this is not popular these days because you're not supposed to be able to tell the difference. But there is male and female categories now. And I feel strongly on each of these. And you talk about R&B and soul.
Yeah.
Male.
And female. Let's do male and female.
Male and female. James Brown is number one. Followed very closely on his heels, helping him up from the split, would be Curtis Mayfield. Females, man, I love that Miami sound. Maybe that's why your parents had you down there, or they had you in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Or maybe they moved you down to Miami because of the Miami sound. And I love me some Gwen McCrae, and I love me some Betty Wright.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there.
Right on.
You guys have any soul preferences? Let's hear them. Malcolm Tent, Soul Patrol, go.
Well, I got to go with the stuff that was in the house when I was a wee lad. And my father had records by James Brown, Wilson Pickett, and Otis Redding, if you're going to talk about male singers. But I'd probably have to go with James Brown just because of quality and quantity. Even up to his disco period when he wasn't even writing stuff
I like
anymore.
the disco
but
period.
There's some good stuff there, man. There really is, Made me get a lot of respect for the songwriter Brad Shapiro, who I didn't know he wrote a track on a Wilson Pickett record in 1972, which the first time I heard it, I said, this is disco. From 1972, and I don't remember the name of the song, but this guy, Brad Shapiro, co-wrote it with Wilson Pickett. It's disco. It's flat out disco, and it predates what we know as disco by several years.
72, man, it's at least about 4 or 5 years.
72. I forget the name of the album. Good As I've Been to You, maybe? I'll have to go home and dig it up. But
So James Brown's your number one male.
it's got to be James Brown, you know?
You got a preference in your females?
Females, my knowledge isn't that deep. I can't even honestly think of anybody except maybe Carla Thomas because of the Otis and Carla album. And I just love the sound of her voice.
Now, Carla Thomas, that's Rufus Thomas's daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm also a big Rufus Thomas fan.
Yeah.
Walt Wheat, Soul Patrol, male, female. Don't write it and send it to us in the mail. Give it to us right here, right now. Go Walt Wheat.
So it's going to be a turkey on mail.
Huh?
It's going to be a turkey.
What's a turkey?
When you bowl a turkey.
Yeah, you bowl a
3
turkey.
strikes. It's 3 strikes in a row.
Oh, well, go ahead. Hit me.
You get the turkey.
James Brown.
James
All
Brown.
right.
Now, it's a genre that I'm not all that familiar with. I listen to it a lot. After a while, it just all kind of starts sounding the same. So a lot of times I won't even pay attention. So I know it's James Brown without a doubt. I mean, I'll seek everything out that he's ever written.
Matter of
to
fact,
listen to.
I'm going to say this to you right now. Me and Walt, we all have text conversations throughout the weeks and months before we are together doing projects. And, you know, I'm going to tell you people, we have successfully completed a project called the ANTiSEEN Time Machine, which is going to be hot on the heels of the vinyl version of Falls Count Anywhere, our wrestling compilation song. But Time Machine is an EP. It will be presented like the old English 12-inch singles that we all used to get in the 90s. Mainly punk rock bands, mainly metal bands, I would say. But then, you know, a lot of the new wave and punk rock groups were doing it too. And Walt Wheat, of course, being the go-getter, the main starter, the catapult operator, has already coming up with ideas for a volume 2 should we have to go there. And he brought up us doing James Brown, The Funky Side of Town.
I don't know that one.
Well, yeah, because you and I are on such a connection when it comes to, like if I say, all right, Malcolm, I'm going to play this Depeche Mode song that we need to do as an ANTiSEEN song, I think 9 times out of 10 you're going to go, I can hear it.
Yeah.
When I play for you The Funky Side of Town, you will hear it.
Okay.
And I think it's an excellent idea, Walt. So,
Down.
you got to hear some brainstorming happening live right here on Tent Talks Through.
Yes. There and there.
And there. There and here.
You know,
Okay.
go ahead.
So I'll just go ahead and wrap this up. Female, only because my mom loves her and listen to her a lot. Eartha Kitt.
No.
Okay.
Good
Yes.
answer.
Yes. Good answer.
Good answer.
Very
answer.
unique.
Very unique lady.
Unique voice. And yeah, just lady in general.
Yeah, and great image too. I mean, she had the best image going. She was able to be risque without being dirty, and especially when she was mostly active, very thin line to walk, but she did it. Yeah, she totally did it. She was great.
All right.
Cool. I think maybe we're done.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
What about me?
Oh, you want to talk some
Mondo.
soul?
Yes,
All right, let's
Let's
get
get
the
some
camera
soul.
on Mondo. All right, Mondo. We're not saying you don't have soul. We're just saying that we're old, tired, worn out men who've been on the road all day. But yeah, let's hear some of that soul.
The one and only Sam Cooke and the one and only Diana Ross.
There you
Ah,
are.
there you go.
There you are. Now, you talking Diana Ross with the Supremes or
I like
Diana
it.
Ross solo?
I prefer all of it.
Man, I'm telling you, You can't get much better than Diana Ross's solo stuff when she did Love Hangover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good shite right there, son.
If you want to know my personal Sam Cooke, it's an album that didn't come out until many years after his death, which was the Sam Cooke. Was it called Live at Harlem Square, or was that just where it was recorded? But it was a live album from 1962 in Miami where he did his R&B review set.
Okay.
And it's just gut bucket, sweat drenched. There's no Everybody Loves to Cha Cha Cha. It's like get down and get funky, and man, it's a great album.
I even like his gospel stuff.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed our little conversation tonight. And I just want to say that we hope we're going to see a bunch of you over the next 3 nights. And hopefully, when we all get back home and get nestled back into the routine, we will be back on our routine. And I told y'all I got my Break On Through notebook with me. Did I write in it today on the 8 to 9 hours we were in the car? No, I did not. I slept on and off almost all day, but I'm still tired. And I'm going to sleep. Not now, when I get upstairs. So, thank you, everybody. From me, Malcolm Tent, Walt Wheat, and Mondo Braswell, we want to wish you all a very good night, and thank you so much for coming and sitting with us and listening to us jaw for a little bit.
Yep, you got a little inside glimpse as to what it's like in the van. And,
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I guess you noticed we kind of stopped entertaining you for a while with our vocals and all that stuff because we were just talking. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And
You can get the sights and the sounds of the van,
right,
but you can't get the smells.
can't get the smells. We have not developed that kind of technology yet on social media. It's coming though. Don't worry.
But we like you guys too much, so don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, Philly tomorrow night, which is sold out. But then Youngstown, Ohio,
Youngstown, Ohio,
and York,
and
Pennsylvania.
York, Pennsylvania.
And we are playing 3 different sets each night, which is about the best incentive I can think of, besides our natural magnetism and inborn personalities, to come see us, because you're not going to see the same thing. So just come on out. Philadelphia, Youngstown, Ohio, York, Pennsylvania. Check your local internet for details, because it's all good.
So it has been tough for Tent Talks Tunes today, but we broke on through, and we thank you. Good night, everyone.